Hi guys, welcome to session 41 of Java Full Stack Made Easy. In this session, we will talk about Bootstrap, right? So let's first uh, go to our paint board and understand the technologies that we have discussed till now. So if you remember the stack of technologies that I told you, which resides at the UI level or at the application level or at the database level. So at the database level, we discussed that we will be discussing SQL and Mongo, right? So at the application level, we discussed that we will be talking about Java and Spring. And at the UI side, we spoke about HTML, CSS, Bootstrap, JavaScript, and Angular, right? So these were the technologies that we discussed at the very beginning that we will be covering everything written here. So we are actually already done with what we discussed about Java, we discussed about HTML, we discussed about CSS as well. So now our focus will shift on Bootstrap and then we will move to JavaScript and then Angular. Fine. So now we know that HTML is used to place the components on a web page, and to design that we used CSS. So to make our work easy, we can make use of a framework called as Bootstrap, designed by Twitter. So by using Bootstrap, we will develop these things, these web pages faster. So we used to write CSS on our own. Bootstrap is nothing but what a ready-made CSS for you. So if we use this ready-made CSS, then it will be easy for us to design the web pages. In a very quick time, we can design these web pages. So most of the web developers, they prefer Bootstrap, and also by using Bootstrap, we can create responsive web pages. Responsive web pages are what? Mobile friendly web pages can be created. So your screen size changes according to that, your even the web page changes accordingly. So what I'm gonna do is I'll make Bootstrap easy for you. The current version for Bootstrap is 5. So 5.13, 5.12 or whatever it is. So the major version is Bootstrap 5. That's what we will be learning in this session as well. So to make use of Bootstrap, there are two ways what we can make use of is we can make use of a CDN link, that is installing Bootstrap with us. Either we can use a CDN link or we can download the Bootstrap CSS and the Bootstrap files. Let's say Bootstrap files, because it can be a CSS file, it can be a JavaScript file for Bootstrap, or it can be the CSS files for icons and everything. So those files will be required for us to use the built-in uh, classes that are already given. So I prefer the easiest way, that is the CDN link. So in this case, we will also be using a CDN link. All my demos will be referring to CDN link. So what exactly is a CDN link? A CDN link is nothing but what? There is a drive on which these files are already stored, and by using this CDN link, we are actually referring to that particular machine. So we need not download all these files. Two ways are there: either download it and store it locally in your machine, or you refer to a CDN link that is available on web. Both obviously has some advantages and limitations. If we download these files, it will be stored into our local machine, and even if there is no internet, we can still work with Bootstrap stuff. If we are working with the CDN link, then obviously we should be connected to the internet so that these files are linked, right? So since we already know that we will always be connected to the internet, so we will be using the CDN link itself. Okay, so what I have done for you is that I have created a sample template for Bootstrap, which I will be giving you for Bootstrap 5 itself, which contains actually all these things. And also there are comments written for the same, why each thing is being used. So why this document type HTML is used. See, you can see the comments over here. Document type declaration tells the browser to use the latest HTML standard, that is HTML5. So which is compulsory for the modern HTML pages. Similarly, this HTML language EN, which is an optional stuff, can be used. So you can see that language EN specifies the language of the page, right? English in this case. So helps with accessibility, screen readers, and SEOs. Recommended, but it is not compulsory. So each tag that is written over here is defined properly so that you can understand why exactly that particular tag is used. And also I have already implemented the CDN links that I was talking about. So you can see that Bootstrap CDN link is here. So whatever CDN links are required is already added here. Like a CSS link, if you can see that it is just a external CSS which I am linking. Fine. So my external CSS is not the style.css in this case now. So like if you remember in the previous case, we linked this style.css because it was there in our own machine. We just gave the folder name and then the file name. And here it is on the internet. So on a CDN link, so you take the CSS from there. You can see that it is just a min.css. It's a CSS ready-made for us. We are just using that CSS and utilizing the classes that are already created into this CSS, which is available on the internet. Similarly, for icons also, I have given the I have already added the CDN link. Fine. So we would require the CSS link. Also, we would require the JavaScript link as well. So you can see that the JavaScript links also are added. We can see it here, Bootstrap 5.3.7 JavaScript links. So you can also read why this is required and what all it includes. Fine. So comments are there. See, these things will be required when we are writing a JavaScript page. So as for now, it contains nothing, just a hello in H1, and you can see that there's a class text primary used. So obviously I did not create this class in CSS. This class is already predefined into my min.css, which I'm using from Bootstrap. So this is just a template. I'll show you how it looks like on the browser. So if you see that there is a button created, there is hello Bootstrap 5 is created. This is a simple starter template using Bootstrap 5.3.7. So our setup is done. If you download, if you copy this template, I'll be giving you this template into the uh, GitHub. So from there you can get this link. So let's go for the Git. Sorry, this is not our Git page, right? So that is our Java full stack made easy UI, right? So we were talking about Java full stack made easy UI. So I'll go to our link UI. So this is the repository and this is our day 41, right? So let's create a new repo for the same. This will be called as day 41 slash demo 1 bootstrap template. So I'm just giving you this template so that it will be easy for you to set up Bootstrap. You don't need to get the CSS and you get the JavaScript and where to place it and all that. Okay, so that's what I have done as for now. So let's just commit this changes. So our template is ready now. So now that the template is ready, let us learn how do we make use of the concept of Bootstrap. So I have a body being defined here, right? The body is closed here. So this is the body, start of body. Let me just check. Yeah, here is the body started and there is a container created. So what I will be doing here is, so I'll start it from here. So whatever I want to do, I'll be doing it from here. Okay, our code goes here. Fine. So now what I want to do is I want to design a button using Bootstrap. Fine. So I just want to design a simple button. Like in HTML, we used to create buttons like this, right? So let's create a button. Let's create a button like hello. Okay. So I created a button hello, which looks like our HTML button itself. Just because the Bootstrap is added, it looks a little different, right? So now what I want is I want the button to be looking like this. Fine, the click me button that is created. So what I can simply do is apply the Bootstrap class and automatically all the properties written into that class will be applied to this particular button. For example, the above button is created like what? You just give a class btn hyphen primary. So that's the primary button. So save it and there we go. Fine. So likewise, we can create the buttons. It can be anything. It can be a button primary, or it can be a button secondary. It can be a button success and all that. So let me just create few more for you. So these are the standard colors that are available into Bootstrap. So let me go for that. Primary, success, and then we have the danger, button danger. We have warning, info. Let's create that. Warning, info, and yeah. All right. So let's create that. Let's also give the same name, info, warning, so that you understand what it is. Danger, success, and primary. In Bootstrap, we need to remember these class names. Although we are not creating those classes, but because we are using those classes, we should remember the name of the class. That is only the difficult thing in Bootstrap. All other difficulties are already covered in the CSS that is created by the Bootstrap, right? So to create such buttons, obviously it takes a lot of effort for us, but because we are just using the classes, you can see that how beautifully these buttons are created. We did not put any effort in it, right? So we just remember the class name and we are creating the buttons. There we go. So it is as simple as that. Fine. So I will share this first with you. So our code goes here. See, if you have the template, this is the only code that I've written. Fine. The other template contains what? It contains the CDN link and the other demo which is written here. Fine. If you want to clean up this, you can clean up this as well. Fine. So I'll just copy this and call this as demo2 bootstrap buttons. Demo2 bootstrap buttons. So it's very easy to create the buttons. Just remember the name of the class, right? The button class. It can, whatever you want to create, whether you want to create primary button, success, danger, warning, info, whatever buttons you want to create, you just remember these class names and you are done creating the buttons. Fine. So likewise, what we have is we have the uh, colors defined. So this basically is the colors that are defined. So we can even create the text and then define these primary, secondary, and all that. So let me just tell you how do we do that. So I will clean up buttons for this now. So since I have already created the buttons before, I will keep it clean for you. Fine. So every single demo will only be focusing on the things that we are discussing. So let's now talk about the colors that are available into Bootstrap. Fine. So for Bootstrap colors, once again, I already have defined a body and the CSS link, everything is defined. So let's just take the paragraphs. Fine. So now while creating a paragraph, now I will be using again a class from Bootstrap, and this is gonna be like previous case. It was text, sorry, it was button primary. Now I'm creating a text primary. Fine. So let's call it as primary color or something. Fine. Similarly, I will have what? I'll have success, danger, warning, info. Let's create that. Success, info, warning, danger. Let's call this as danger color. Let's call this as warning, info, and success. So it's same, like in the previous example, we created buttons for the same. Here we are just creating a text for it. Fine. So it is as simple as that. We are creating the paragraphs and we are just defining the colors over there, and whatever color we have defined, according to that we are getting the text. You can also go for the uh, W3 schools for more uh, of such demos. Fine. So let me just put up the third demo, demo 3, and call this as a bootstrap colors. All right. So similarly, what we can also do is Bootstrap can provide us the images as well. So image classes are also defined in Bootstrap. Let us now place a image and then understand how Bootstrap is going to create us a good image for us, right? So what I will do is I'll again clean up everything that I have written here, and let's only focus on the part of image now. Okay, so we know that we place the image using an img src, right? So let's place that img source equals to, we have already created images slash this image is already there into our uh, machine, right? So we have created it in previous demos. So let's place that particular image, and if we want to put any alternate text after this, we can put an alternate text. So as for now, I'm not putting an alternate text because the image is there. I'm sure that the image is there. Alternate text will only be displayed when the image is not found. So now that I'm very much overconfident, so I'm confident here that the image is already there in my machine, right? So now I will be using just a bootstrap class to make it circle, right? So the class for that is rounded hyphen circle, okay? And this will actually create a circled image for us. Yeah, also since that image is very big, so I'll be giving the width for that image as maybe 400 pixels. Let's save it and you can see that. So rounded circle, I don't see it's being used, rounded circle. It should be coming up in circle if we define it as rounded circle. Fine. So images can be given like rounded image or rounded circle that way. Let us check what is the problem with this particular image that we are creating here. Fine. And understand what needs to be done. Let's also give some other class and understand that. So for images, it can even be just the rounded one. Let's see. Yeah, will it give any difference? So I don't see any difference in here. So class rounded, rounded circle. Anyways, what we will do is it's not taking the bootstrap rounded and rounded circle. What we will do is we will move ahead, and after that we will see why exactly the image was not being circled or rounded. It is possible that in bootstrap 5 the class name is changed. Okay, so that is possible. So I will check that later. So let's just move forward with the other components and see how other things can be added in bootstrap. So now what I will add is with the bootstrap, let's try and add the alerts that can be created into bootstrap. Fine. So I'll just be creating a div, and for this div, I'll just call this as this is a warning. Fine. So we see alerts like danger alerts, closing alerts, and maybe success alerts and all that. So such type of alert I'm creating, and this is gonna be a warning type of alert. I can also create a primary success alerts, danger alerts and all that. So let's just create a class for the same, and for alert it is alert space alert hyphen. So it can be primary, secondary and all that. So in this case I'm creating a warning alert. So let's just save it and see the alert being displayed. So you can see that the alert is being displayed here. So since I've already added the JavaScript and other things here, so we can create the alert which can even be dismissible. So let's try and create a dismissible alert. Like what do I mean by the dismissible alert? Dismissible alerts will have buttons here. So if we click on that, the alert will be gone. Fine. So let's try and create that. So I already have a warning alert being created. So for dismissible alerts, we should actually first create what alert dismissible. Fine. So then we have to create a button as well. On click of that particular button, the alert should be gone. So let's go ahead and create that. So what I will do is I'll just copy this particular thing first. And this is a warning. So instead of calling this as this is a warning, let's save it as data saved or something. Fine. So when I do things like a data saved, alert, warning. So it can be warning, it can be danger, it can be success or anything. So data saved is success, right? So if we successfully save the data, it will be a success. So just the color of that alert will be changed. You can even put a danger alert there. That is, your machine is about to shut down, and all such type of things can be added. So now that the class is alert success, and this should be a dismissible alert. So I will give it as alert hyphen dismissible. Okay, should be dismissible alert. Now, uh, so I've written it as a dismissible alert, and then data saved is a text that has to be displayed there. And after that, I have to also take a uh, dismiss. That is the button I have to take on which the dismiss this alert gets closed. So let's take a button for the same. And for this button, I will not create anything. It will be an empty button with a icon like close icon. So this button is what, sorry, the class of this particular button is gonna be a button hyphen close. A close button should be created, and this should be data dismissible. Data hyphen bs hyphen dismiss. Let's save it and check. So here we have a data saved success alert is being created, and we have a close button here. Now let's just click on this and see that whether the uh, alert gets dismissed or not. Fine. So as for now, you can see that the alert is being created, looks good, success. But when I click on this, the button is not yet closed here, right? So why is that? Although everything looks good, right? So here we have an alert dismiss. So let's also create a page show for this, and let's create a role equals to alert and see whether it gets dismissed now or not. Maybe the JavaScript is not added. Anyways, we will see what is wrong here. Oh, sorry. Now that I have just written the dismiss, it should be an alert dismiss. Now let's close it. Yeah, that's gone. So I'll go above, and I'll remove this fade and everything. Yeah, so it's gone. So that way we can create alerts that can be even dismissed. Okay, so let's call this as a Bootstrap alerts. You can create alert. This is a success alert. It can be even a danger alert, which is just alert danger. And this could be what? Data cannot be saved. Okay, let's save it. And you can see that this is a danger alert. So whatever alerts you want to provide, you can provide those alerts. It can be a danger alert. It can be a success alert and all that. So let me just copy this and put this also into the repository, that is our demo 4. Bootstrap alerts. Okay, so I'll just clean up these alerts as for now, because now my next focus moves on to the nav bars. You might have seen the nav bars on the websites which are displayed at the top like a menu and all. So let's create navs into Bootstrap and understand how these nav bars are created. Okay, so basically these nav bars are nothing but what, they are unordered list itself. Okay, so let's understand how do we create it. So I will create a unordered list, and I'll call this as nav. Okay, just create it as a class nav. And we know that unordered list contains the list items, so we will be creating list items for the same. And it can be anything like maybe home, contact, and all that. Okay, so let's create some 2 or 3 here, like home, contact, about. Let's save it. And since they are the part of the navs, so this should be nav items. All of these items that I have written, this should be nav items. So I will just call this as class nav hyphen item. Okay, so all of these list items that we are creating should be nav items. Okay, let's save it. And also what we can give is we can give whether this particular link is active or whether it is disabled and all that. So we can give nav class link, nav class, after that whether it is active or not. So even those things can be given. So as for now, I'm just creating it that way, and let's see however. So as for now, it doesn't look too good. So nav items are added. Now also let's try and create this as links. Okay, so where is, like, if I create it as a link, if I click on it, I can go to something. Fine. So let's create it as a link A, then href and anything can be given. So okay, let's create it this way. So I've just added the 3 links here. It can be more accordingly, and it can even be designed much better than what I have designed here. It's just a simple thing. So what we can do is we can call this as class. This is a nav uh, link. So same thing I want to add to all these. Let's save it. And you can see that the nav links are created. I can even provide the href for the same, and I can navigate to any of the page that I want. I might have HTML pages like home, contact, about, and I can navigate it just by providing the href here. So as for now, I have not returned that href. We can call it, we can give href and then give anything that we wish. Fine. So can be created. So now that I have not given anything, so it should be reloaded on the same page only. Fine. So we can also define that this particular link is an active one. That means this is the page that is being selected. So we can say nav link and this is active. So this is the selected page that can even be given, or dismissed can be given, so that it is disabled. Sorry, not dismissed, disabled can be given. So that way navs can be created. So this is the simplest nav bar that I have created. We can create it much better than this. So I'll just copy this and let's call this as demo 5 nav. So I actually have a readily available nav created here. So I will get that and show you how navs can be modified and can be created with a better way. So I'll just copy everything that I have written here. Let's save it. And you'll notice that the nav actually starts from here. So this is the line where I had actually written what your code goes here. Fine. So let's save it. And now you notice that this is nav which is being modified a bit more. So you can see that my site is there, home, profile, contacts, settings, logout. So this is actually a nav with the icons being created. Fine. So we can even create the buttons with the icons and everything. So if you remember, I just created the button like primary and everything. So we can create a button that has icons within it. So let's try and create one such button so that it will be easy for us to understand how the icons can be added. Fine. So let's go here and create a simple button with an icon. So nav ends here. Fine. So I'll just be adding a button. Okay. So we used to create normal buttons there. So now what I want is I want to create a button which would be something like what uh, it should contain this home or anything whatever we have created. It should be a like button. Fine. So we can create that. So let's say this button class is what btn space btn hyphen uh, success. Okay, let's save it and just look at the button. Yeah, button is created. So let's create a button primary. Okay, let's save it. And we should be giving the text to the button. So as for now, I don't want the text only to be given. Like I might give it as like. So I want an icon to be displayed here before this like. So what we can do is we can go for an icon class is equal to. So for Bootstrap icons, we can give Bootstrap bi space Bootstrap icon hyphen. What is this now? Hand hyphen thumbs up is for like. Okay. So let's just close it, save it, and see the icon being displayed. So likewise, we can create other Bootstrap icons as well, not just this like icon. We can go for the other type of icon. It can be a delete icon. It can be a envelope icon. It can be any type of icons that we can create. Like maybe let's go ahead and say one more button we will create. Instead of thumbs up, let's call it as search, save it, and there we go. So you can see that the search icon is added with this. Fine. So we can go for a trash, we can go for the envelopes for contact and all. We can go for the user icons like this. This contact is envelope that is being used, settings and all. So if you look above, you will see those icons being used. You can see it here. BI person, house, envelope. So these things can be used. Fine. So that's how they are actually added onto the uh, list items. I am adding it on the buttons. So these are added to the list items, not a rocket science. So you can just go through with this navs how it is created. Fine. My site navs contains the buttons itself, toggler icons. Fine. You can see that the icons are added, home icon and everything. So I'll just copy this and call it as nav2 demo 6. So obviously, I think this video will be a bit larger than the previous videos, but the thing is that we are talking about Bootstrap, and I am thinking of finishing off the Bootstrap into one go. Anyways, what I will do is I will stop it here, and we will continue the same in the next session, so that will be easy for even those people who cannot concentrate for hours. Fine. So this is how this is not everything about the bootstrap, because in bootstrap you need to remember about what about the classes that are being used, but still it is easier to remember the class name than to create everything on your own. So if you like in the series, do comment on my videos and also share the videos to your friends, so that I get more subscriber, and that motivates me to create more such video. Thank you. See you in the next video.